Listen, I've been around enough women to know women lie.
Oh, yeah.
Women lie.
Yeah.
And not only do women lie, women lie. The reason women lie so much is because they don't even believe they're lying.
Yeah. They rationalize and make it seem like it's reality.
They believe it's true.
Yeah.
A woman will crash a car into a tree.
Yeah.
No other cars around. She crashes into a tree.
Yeah.
Why'd you hit that tree? Well, it wasn't my fault. Why? It was raining and it was dark. You knew that when you got in the car.
Yeah.
Everyone else driving's driving in the rain, the dark, and they didn't hit the tree.
Right.
Why did you hit the tree? Yeah, but it was raining and it's dark, and it's the first time I've driven the car, so. Yeah, but okay, whose fault is this? The trees? That tree's been there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Never been hit before.
Yeah.
The car has driven up and down that road 10,000 times and never been crashed. Who do we blame? Well, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. That's the female mind. They're not responsible for anything ever. Now, if you ask that same woman 2 weeks later after she hit the tree, you'd be like, I got a Ferrari. You want to drive it? Yeah, I want to drive it. Are you a good driver? I'm a great driver.
Women, get out of here with this notion that we are oppressed. We are not oppressed. I've just seen this meme that said we need feminism because men's rights don't vary by state like women's do. So with this delusion, do y'all realize that there are actually some privileges that we have that men don't have? And this one's about to sing, but someone's got to say it. Do you know a man has 0 reproductive rights like you do, like I do? Once that man's DNA leaves his body, he has no say-so. He can't choose adoption. He can't choose to walk away. But guess what? You can. And remember, I've said this before, it's all about equality until that accountability shows up. Paternity fraud laws are different in each state. Did you know that safe haven laws in all 50 states protect women? A woman can surrender a baby. A man can't. Sounds like a legal right that women have that men don't.
And a lot of women lack accountability. There's a lot of women who you will sit down and ask her, like, hey, like in your last relationship, like what role did you play in it going wrong?
Right.
And she'll look you in the eyes and say nothing. I did what I was supposed to do. He cheated.
Yeah.
Well, I did what I was supposed to do. He neglected me.
Yeah. That right there, what you said, a lot of women lack accountability. No. And I can say a lot of men lack accountability. How about we address the men lacking your emotional state?
I think what you're doing is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because again, I never said that men don't lack accountability. When you said it, I nodded. Yep, you're right. A lot of men do. But just the mere mention of a woman having something to work on made you feel away. Tell a woman that she needs to work on something, or you tell a woman that she's doing something wrong, automatically go into defense. Yeah, they may be wrong too, and we'll get to that. But right now, we on you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spin it back in my moment of telling you what you need to work on. And a lot of women do that.
I don't think men leave happy homes. I think they leave once that respect is gone. I have been divorced for 8 years. I was with my ex-husband for a total of 10 years, and we have a child together. And these are some of the things that I have learned along the way. And no, it did not come overnight. But ladies, listen up. If you want true loyalty from a man, ladies, you have got to stop making your husband or significant other the punchline for your social media likes and the gossip ring for your girlfriends. And don't forget, respect is like oxygen for a man. You take it away long enough, and I'm going to tell you what, honey, he is going to suffocate. And men don't just wake up one day and just decide to leave. Men leave after the same repetitive days, like coming home after working hard all day to the nagging, complaining, moaning, and griping. This in the ear as soon as they walk in the door. And sometimes you hear these women say, I don't know what happened. He just changed. Or maybe he just adjusted to the way that you've been treating him. And some of you I know are going to say, well, it sounds like he just can't handle a strong woman. Then, no, I'm pretty sure he can handle a strong woman. He doesn't want to handle a disrespectful one. So when your husband gets home from work, hug him, tell him you love him, how much you appreciate him, how much you're thankful for the hard work that he does to provide for your family. Because I'm telling you, you do not want to be on the other side of this fence.
Men are competitive. Men play for points. They're about team. And when he feels disrespected, he feels like he's failing. He feels like he's not winning. And most men will gravitate to things, places where they feel honored, where they feel respected, where they feel like they're winning. So if he can never be a winner at home with his wife, no matter what he does, he's being criticized, which is disrespectful. He's being interrupted, which is disrespectful. You're never happy. which is actually disrespectful to him, he feels like he's losing. He feels like it's a failure, and he will gravitate toward other things. And I'm not saying that to scare you. It might not be toward another woman, but he might gravitate and spend more time at work, more time with his buddies, more time with the kids, more time with his hobbies, places he feels honored, respected, and where he can win.
If women had access to all of the firearms on earth that exist, they still don't have the requisite brute force that would be necessary to keep men under control. They just wouldn't. Because men have a monopoly on force. I'll give you an example. If tomorrow men decided to enslave all women would be enslaved. However, if tomorrow all women decided to enslave all men, they do not have the force doctrine and requisite necessary to do so. If you were the head of a prison, would you rather have all male or all female guards? If you were dealing with dangerous prisoners?
I mean, has everyone seen that article with the Vogue headline that says it's now considered embarrassing to have a boyfriend? And all of these women are posting videos agreeing with it, saying, yeah, it's way more trendy and impressive to be a single woman who is like being independent by herself. Because there are all these women in their 30s, 40s, 20s now who just want to be independent women, boss women, building their careers, not having families. But I think what all of these women fail to consider when they agree with that article is the realities of the future. And quite frankly, the realities of life. But another reason that we date and we get married and we have families is because there is safety and security in having people around you who are obligated to have your back. For example, my mother, she is 61, but she is in the mid to late stages of Alzheimer's. She is young, but if she didn't have a spouse and children who noticed the signs that she couldn't take care of herself anymore because she at this point is probably mentally 3 years old, she probably would not be alive right now, because there have been many incidences where we kept her alive because we were caring for her and looking after her. Tragedy can happen at any point in your life. You could get into a car accident and be paralyzed. You could be diagnosed with a disease where you can't take care of yourself anymore. There is security in being married and having a family because they are people who are going to look after you. And you might try to rebuttal saying, oh, well, that's what friends are for. Friends will always prioritize themselves at the end of the day. They have to take care of themselves. They might move away to choose another job. They might have families that they have to put first, and they can't be full-time caretakers. For my mom, she has to be watched 24/7. You date to marry, and when you marry someone, especially a Christian marriage, you are entering a covenant where you say, till do us part. I am with you for the long haul. If something happens and I have to take care of you, I will stick around. I'm not going to leave you. So it's not embarrassing to have a boyfriend. It's actually incredibly wise.
She shut down Pound Town, and if she wanted to, she would, okay? Why is it that when women have good men that are working 10, 12-hour day shifts, paying all the bills, showing up for their family, doing the emotional support that the wife needs, he's the one that's suffering, being shut off on intimacy and bedroom activities? Let me ask you women, if your man is showing up for the way that you need him to show up, why can't you show up for him the way he wants you to show up for him? Why is there such a double standard? And why is it that it's been such a burden to you to open up bedroom activities? I seriously want to know, because I see a lot of women say, oh, I have great men, but then they talk about how they don't have at all anymore in their relationship. It's not important to them, but yet their men still want this. And why is it that when he brings it up to you, is that, and your response is that all you ever think about? But you best believe and bet your sweet butt cheeks that if you have a problem and something's not right on your end, that he needs to fix it immediately or there'll be hell to pay. Why is it that men have to jump through hoops and continue to jump through hoops to satisfy you in every aspect of your life? It's like his job to keep you happy, but you can't do the same for him? Make it make sense.
And I'm really glad the young lady said that. She was making a point about her mom having, I think, Alzheimer's or something like that, and really having to be taken care of. That's partly what we talk about when we say the wall. Modern women, they have this thought that they're going to be invincible. They're going to be able to, kind of be in their golden age, in their prime forever. And that's it's just not the case. It's never the case for anybody, right? So you want to get with somebody that's going to take care of you, right? The problem is modern women hear this and then they say, okay, that means I need to get somebody that makes a lot more money than I do, right? And so I'm making $100K in order to have somebody take care of me like I want them to take care of me, not like they need to take care of me, but like I want them to take care of me. They need to have, let's say I have 20 good years left. They need to be making, in the next 5 years, let's say I make $100K, I want them to make $500K. So if I have significant injuries or medical bills and stuff like that, and 500 for the next, 15 years, 500,000 a year, they need to be making. And that's assuming that we're going to move into a bigger house. Our whole lifestyle is going to elevate. Kids' college fund, everything's going to elevate. And so we have, say, for instance, 200 to 300,000 that we spend on a yearly basis. We live off of that. And this is after taxes, by the way. We live off of that. But that extra 200, we put aside, not for the kids, but for me to be taken care of, right? You want to live the life of luxury instead of understanding I actually don't need all of those things. I need to find me a man where we can build together and we can take care of each other so that when one of us goes down. Now, obviously, once again, insurance and all those things. And I understand you don't want to marry anybody that's broke, living out on the street. I get it. But modern women are trying to find men who will help them to live the life of luxury, who will provide a life of luxury for them, instead of finding somebody that can take care of you. You're not going to be worried about sipping a mimosa if you're brain dead or close to it. I'm just trying to get about this hospital. You're not going to be worried about sitting on a beach out somewhere if you can't even walk. You're not going to be really worried about that. You're going to be worried about trying to get better. You're going to be worried about making sure that man that you married for money don't leave you and you be by yourself. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about somebody's character and their behavior and how they deal with things.
Women don't go out on girls' night out because they want to hang with their girlfriends. They go out on girls' night out because they want attention from other men. That's why they do it. Otherwise, they would stay at home and they would dance in their friend's house, or they would go out and they would be dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. They would not be half naked at the bar, drunk with their girlfriends. It doesn't make any sense.
Can someone else confirm for me? When you're in a relationship, I believe that having a girls' night is going to a restaurant and having dinner and drinks there, hang out a few hours, chitty chat, gossip, whatever, and then take your happy to your man. Because if there's one place I'm not going to be without my boyfriend, it's at a bar. I think that's weird.
Girls' night is not girls' night. Please stop lying. Dressing up in skimpy outfits, saying I'm doing it for my girls, I worked hard all week, I deserve this. No, you're not. You're actually chasing outside validation and attention from men who are not your husband or your boyfriend. Let's be real. That is not empowerment.
I lost the guy I love to Red Pill.
I lost the guy that I loved and cared about to Red Pill content.
Oh my God.
Before he started watching this content, he was a sweet, nice man who treated me well and was charismatic, funny. And the moment he started watching this content, he completely changed. He started calling women his whore skanks.
he became very, very angry almost all the time. And then eventually he ended things with me because he thought I was using him for money.
Which you probably
Now, granted, there was
like
one
that,
time where I
honestly.
did make a joke about how I wanted an old guy to take care of me, and I quickly regretted it and said I was sorry. But I still cared about him. I would drive 30 minutes every day to see him. Like, it wasn't just about the money. Because he's watching all this content, he thinks that all these women are trying to use him and all that stuff. And so he had a loving girl that cared about him and loved him and like would stick by his side through anything. And then he eventually said this to me, and this was the final straw.
Okay.
Now, when I first started talking to him, not that it mattered, but he was over 270 pounds when I started talking to him. I did not care about his size. He then lost weight and then started fat shaming everyone around him. And today, actually, he said this to me. He called me a broke skank and then said that I would ease back on the food. Your stomach's getting a little big. And I've never, my whole life, had a man speak to me like
Oh
that.
my God, girl.
And
Get
here
the
I
fuck
was
outta
the week
here.
before going out, and I was gonna go buy him a present for his birthday. And for him to turn around and call the girl that cared about him and loved him a skank and fat, when he's like one of the only guys that I've been with. In the beginning, it was totally opposite. He would compliment me, tell me how pretty I was, and laugh and make jokes, and like, it just this content, it just ruined him. And then I went on his page before we unfollowed each other, and I saw he was reposting like Andrew Tate and like David Goggins, and like almost all of his reposts were that. And then that's how I found out that he was in this red pill rabbit hole, and now I connected the dots.
La combinación que ellos tienen en mi casa, ¿Arreglando qué? ¿Arreglando qué? ¿Tú no ves que este apartamento nuevo? Este apartamento nuevo, míralo ahí, este apartamento nuevo, aquí no hay nada que arreglar, aquí está todo nuevo, original. Ya, sí, mira eso. Sal de ahí que yo te voy a decir a ti, mira eso ahora mismo. Yo te voy a decir, mira eso ahora mismo, salme, que tengo la sangre caliente. Te voy a dar dos para que salga. No va a salir. No va a salir. No va a salir. Sal, muévelo. Sácamelo tú de ahí. Sácamelo de ahí. Sácamelo, salatana. Sácamelo de ahí. Salme de ahí. Está bien. Siéntate bien. Güey, se me sienta uno ahí. Güey, se me sienta uno ahí. Se me sienta ahí. Siéntate. Ponga la silla para acá. Siéntate tú, ven. Siéntate, coño. Siéntate, porque te dije que te sientes. ¿Por qué te dije que te sientes? ¿Qué fue lo que tú le dijiste a ella?
It's like 5:45. I was supposed to have a date at 8 o'clock at this cute restaurant, right? I met this guy on Hinge. We, had planned this maybe like a week ago. Like he had asked like to go out, and I agreed, all that kind of stuff. So around 4:30, I'm like, wait, I haven't heard from this man all day. So at like 4:35, I text him and I'm like, hey, are we not going anymore? Immediately responds like, oh, my bad. Hold on. So I'm thinking he's, just dealing with something real quick. He's going to get right back. 40 minutes go by and I'm like, I see where this is going. So I say, would you like to reschedule? It's getting kind of close. Cause like, I'm a girl. We got to get ready, right? Like, I'm not ready. This is my same hair. This is my same makeup from work this morning. I don't even have on foundation. I have on blush and eyeliner. Okay. So I would have re-showered. I would have did my hair. I would have put on a cute outfit for the date. So he's like, yeah, I thought I could thug it out, but I'm in the hospital right now with a really bad migraine. And initially, I'm not thinking that's, it's so far-fetched, because earlier this week he had said that he had a migraine, and I wasn't dismissive of it. I said like, oh, maybe you're dehydrated, maybe you're deficient in something, maybe you need more sleep, and we just talked about it briefly, and we went on about our conversation. So now, when he says he's in the hospital, I'm thinking to myself, I need to see some proof. That's my response. I say, sorry, I need to see some proof. Time goes by. Nothing. Like, I'm thinking if he's telling the truth, he can send a picture of him in an emergency room. He can send a picture of his wristband. He obviously has his phone. His phone is charged. I don't know. He can even send a picture of his doctor, whatever. Nothing. So then, more time goes by and he's like, oh, sorry, just getting meds. More time goes by. No proof. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, like, already know you can't have high expectations of like online dating. Not to be negative, because I know it works for some people. It worked for me. Y'all know I was married like 6 years. I met my husband on Bumble. But I feel like if there's a hierarchy, of like how you meet somebody, like a social hierarchy of these things, I would definitely say like online dating's way at the bottom. My personal opinion. Okay. And I just feel like I don't like that he didn't confirm the date, because my girlfriends confirm. You know, we always be like, hey, I'm on my way, or like the day of or a few hours before, hey, we still good? Why can't men do that? I just don't. And the thing is, I know there's gonna be some dusty men in the comments saying like, well, we had already made the plans. Imagine if I was already dressed, already done up, already getting ready to go, and then this happened. So that's why it's like you have to confirm the plans. So imagine if I did the opposite, if like I assumed that we weren't going and then he was already dressed and ready there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to check in, and I just don't feel like that was my role or my responsibility to do that. But I'm glad that I did, because I didn't have my time wasted. And if he really is in the hospital, you know, I'm glad that he got his medical concerns, you know, addressed. But I just feel like there's something wrong here. Like I just feel like he could have confirmed something. He could have said something. If I didn't reach out, would he have said anything at all? So I just got a new set from Gymshark. I think I'm going to take it to the gym and test it out. I think I have plans with my girlfriends tomorrow. So I guess I do have a date with my girls tomorrow.
I just asked a man on a date. Hey, scratch cornea, retainer still in. Fuzzy socks. Fuzzy socks. What was the answer? Absolutely. How am I meeting men? At 10 a.m. in my own house on a Friday morning? Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get about 7 to 8 Doug fir trees. You're going to plant them in your backyard relatively close to the home, okay? Just like dangerously so. Wait about 100 years. Let those puppies really get up there. Eventually, they will just start decimating your gutter system on their own. Then you're going to call. You're going to be like, bro, you got to come out now. Who's going to show up? Mike. Mike's going to be like, hey, I'm all done. You want to check it out? Here's where it gets interesting. I go back there. I check it out. I go, excellent craftsmanship, sir. Well done. He goes, yeah. Thank you. If you need anything else, give a shout, ask for Mike directly, since I know what's going on. Say less, Mike. I was like, I do have a quick question though. If I were to reach out and ask if Mike was free for a beer sometime, he goes, absolutely. I go, okay, would you want to take my number? Bro, phone's already out.
Ladies, this is what men keep on trying to tell you. If you hit on them, that will be successful 99% of the time. Because even when they are interested in you first, there are multiple reasons why they may not make the first move. But when you do that, you make the first move, you make it crystal clear that that man has the green light. And then that man will be all in. I mean, he will have the date planned even before he pulls out of that driveway.
So, who would like to ruffle a few feathers today that are in very serious need of ruffling, in addition to bringing in a much-needed reality check for a great many out there? I know nothing could please me more than to do so, because I have been noticing something on social media, and I think it needs to be discussed more and certainly needs to have attention brought to it, that there are a lot of individuals, specifically a lot of women out there, who are more than pleased to tell anyone who will listen that they don't like men. They don't care about them. They don't care about the issues that they go through, the suffering that they have to deal with, and they certainly couldn't give two hoots about the status of their mental health. And well, I really hate to break this to you. No, I don't hate to break this to you. In fact, I look forward to breaking this to you. But if you don't care about the status of men's mental health, by extension, then that means you honestly don't care about the safety of women.
You know, first of all, I don't know what was going on with that clip. Where dude was walking around another man's house in some towels. Man, this brother was under the sink. Man, listen, man, you got to be careful out there, Doc. You creeping around, you got to be careful out there, man. But I would say, I think the clip after that, where the woman was complaining about the man, you know, basically talking about, I got a migraine and not really confirming or whatever and whatnot. Who knows? Maybe he's on a date with another person. He don't want to talk to you, but leave him right where he is, right? Stop talking about this is what all men do, because all men don't do that. Not even close, right? I'm thinking about, there was one guy, he was, you know, a fitness guy. Man, and it wasn't the you know, the classic traditional date to where you go to the restaurant. This brother, it was thoughtful. This brother, man, he was a good looking guy. A good looking guy, like I said, he's fit, right? And so he went and got, like, I think he set up like a picnic, and he had the games and the wine and the snacks, and he had all that. And the woman was just messing around, would not confirm, and finally said, you know what, instead of sitting in the house and, you know, being down about it, I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to enjoy myself. Good for you, man. Good for you. And I would say the same thing for you. Go out and enjoy yourself. And I'm just going to go out with my girls. That's the story that you tell. Man, this guy, he did it. And y'all go in on him and make yourself feel better. Fine. But not all men are doing this type of stuff. That's what we keep on trying to tell you. Period, man.
First off, I didn't have a message for black women. My message is actually for the men. And it's to show the men what the women do that they already know. And it's easy to prove it. It's just like if you wanted to prove that white people who keep saying that they're not racist are racist by simply putting a mask over the resume and then showing up at the job and see if they treated you differently than when they read the resume and they thought you were white. That way you have actual proof on tape. So what I would have had was actual proof on tape that in a discussion where people were talking about this is why women aren't being approached. If these people gave a crap, they would listen, even when it's stuff they don't want to hear, which is why I gave the example of if you're a Jewish person, you better listen when the Nazis talk. But instead, I was told, so are you threatening us? So they don't ever want to listen. And I proved it to the men that the people that sit here and say they actually do want to have a conversation with you won't, because you found every excuse to not listen. And there's no reason to do that. And if we really wanted to have a true conversation amongst people, we'd actually want to play in the space of people who disagree. I want someone to challenge what I've said, specifically what I've said. Ask me to prove it, and I will. I stand 100% on everything I say and can prove it. And that's why y'all go to the language and how it was said and whatever. But it's never, what did he say that was wrong, inaccurate, not factual? And that's what I showed.
So my wife got everything in the divorce. She left the marriage a millionaire. I left with nothing. Basically got a bag of clothes, legal issues, PTSD, depression, anxiety, bunch of debt, credit ruined, lost my career, my reputation, everything, right? She got it all and I lost it all. Seems about fair, right? And before you women ask, no, I didn't do anything to deserve it. Was I a perfect husband? No. Did I cheat? No. Was I no. Did I try to give her everything she ever wanted? Yes. And that was the problem. She wanted more and more and more. And then I went into a depression. And as soon as that happened, boom, like a bag of trash to the curb. In fact, you know the crazy part of all this? I've been dealing with this for 4 years. About 2 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm done. So I made a deal to just get it over with, right? I'm just going to put all this behind me. I'm going to move. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go move with my parents for a year, put my life back together. And guess what happened? The court said no. Why? Because somebody doesn't want to let go. I've been dealing with the divorce for longer than we were actually married. And I'm going to be dealing with it for a few more years. No person should lose everything they ever worked for because of the person they married. It shouldn't happen. And yes, I was dumb. I was naive. I believed in love and she believed in evil. So if you're a man struggling, you're not alone. Okay. Just want to let you know that. This is the one crash out I'm ever going to have on social media. Hope you enjoyed.
They were running back and forth in my front yard trying to figure out how they could penetrate or try to make the arrangements to get inside my house.
Arthur Jones describes the moment as terrifying when several guys tried to break into his home.
I had invited a lady friend to come to my residence and spend some time with me. And we were listening to music, watching videos, and having a few drinks.
But he says that woman and another were plotting to rob him the whole time. Watch as the women go in and out of the home over and over. Then at least 3 men arrive at the door. One woman walks out. She then tells them to go away.
I was getting alerts from my phone that they were going in and out my door, and I realized that they was trying to rob me.
The two women were arrested, but the men are still on the run.
The subjects had fled prior to the officers' arrival, and they canvassed the area and were able to locate two females that were involved, and they arrested them. They are not cooperating.
One man's hope for a relaxing Christmas, now an unsolved crime. In Newcastle, Abigail Franklin, Oklahoma's News 4.
5 reasons why women push away good men. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, low self-esteem. She doesn't feel worthy of a good man, so she pushes good men away because she almost feels like it's too good to be true. Self-sabotage. Number 2, past trauma. She is easily triggered by things that remind her of her past, and she reacts irrationally, either completely abandoning and running away or reacting poorly, to say the least. Number 3, fear of intimacy and vulnerability. Does not want anyone to get too close to her. Fear of pain, abandonment, or betrayal. This one is related to number 2, as it's related to trauma. So this person keeps a wall up that keeps people out and creates an illusion of safety. Number 4, overthinking and second guessing. This is usually an anxious attachment style, constantly overthinking every action, and can start to easily feel more invested than the other person, and therefore can push somebody away because of the time that has been invested in dissecting what is happening in the situation that the other party might not even be aware of. And number 5, not ready for a commitment or just not on the same page.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
I got a question since you always ask some questions. Women are right and men are always wrong. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Women are always right, men are wrong. For sure.
So you really believe that?
Believe it to my core.
Women are always right and men are always wrong.
Yep. You know it.
Well, check this out. Riddle me this. So if a man says a woman's right, is he wrong?
If a man says a woman's always right, is he wrong?
Food for thought.
Good one.
If you don't know, here's how dating apps work. You make a profile, everyone else makes a profile, and if you're both interested, the app will match you. And then the women will just never talk to you at all. That's how that works. The way we collected baseball cards as young men is the way grown women are collecting matches on dating apps. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to date you. They just want to go, look at all these guys I could have. It's trash. If the women do talk to you, they're very mean to you about your opening line. I don't know why it's so important to them. It's just an opening line. But like literally, like I'll get like a match, and then I'll write like, hey, I saw you had a dog on your profile. I'm obsessed with dogs. What's your dog's name? And they're like, real original, blocked. I'm like, what the thought that was pretty good, you know? I was like, all right, well, maybe I tried too hard. Maybe I should play it cool, you know? So I'll get like another match. I'll just write like, sup. And she's like, ooh, that must have took a lot of effort. Block, my God.
Recently, I asked for women, specifically those who say that they despise all men, to explain what the reasoning was behind their hatred. I mainly received 2 responses from that. The first being is that some of those women possibly experienced some type of abuse or trauma from a man or multiple men in their past. But when I pointed out that a person's past traumas are not excuses for current bad behaviors, that did not go over very well. And then there was the second response, was that men commit the majority of crime in this world, and therefore they cannot be trusted. But when I asked, does that excuse stereotyping of certain ethnic groups or religious groups as well? And all there was silence. So I really didn't get a reasonable or rational response to why they hate men. Because remember, There is no reasonable or rational response to hatred, because hatred itself is irrational.
And men, you have to be careful out here because some of these modern women, they try to get you for a lick, right? And the young men, I'm an issue, a warning to you as well. Depending on what state you're in, depending on whose house you come across, that could have been your last lick, right? Because you went in there trying to hit a lick, and so that bullet, okay, right? You searching for something, and you're gonna find something, right? You come around that corner, and there's gonna be something staring at you that make you freeze, make you pray to the Lord. God, please don't let it take me out. I don't even know if you're gonna have time to say that. Was it worth it? These hood rat women that got you into this, was it worth it? You could have been at home playing Xbox, chilling, playing PlayStation, having a nice drink, having some pizza. That could have been you. But you out here messing with these you out here messing with these dog-nosed women. Okay. Be careful out there. It's time for you to go get a job, man.
Girls on social media talk about how they go out to the clubs now and guys don't hit on them or go up to them anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, that's because of women.
Yeah.
You did that. You did that
100%.
by blowing men up on social media or screenshotting their courting text or making fun of them or whatever the case may be. That like, now we're just tired, bro. You know what I'm saying? I am that dude. I don't go up to women when I'm out and about. Was never really my way of courting women at a bar or club, going up to them and spitting game or whatever the case may be. That's never been my route. But I see more and more women now say we go out and men don't even come up to us anymore. Like, how are we supposed to meet somebody?
Why is it considered romantic for a man to serve, but oppressive for a woman to serve?
You know, I actually really disagree with that. I don't think it's oppressive, but I think there's a lot of brainwash going on. I'm just going to say it straight out like that.
Like I said, it's a system set up by men. Women weren't allowed to serve, so now it just seems oppressive if we do. The roles are just weird to switch.
How do modern women respond if you ask them to make you a sandwich?
They'd respond negatively, but it's just a negative term coined by men meant to antagonize women.
A man really just got on this app and said we don't call women losers enough. And I couldn't agree more. So I made a list. Coming in at number 1, we have women who make man-hating content. Just because you can't find a man that you want that wants you back and all the ones you date are bums does not make all men losers. You're the loser because you can't get what you want. Right behind that at number 2, we have women who make de-center men content. They are literally the center of your content. If they didn't exist, neither would your platform. And lastly, for the girlies that actually post, are the ones that make first date content. It's in the same vein, it's all really ridiculous, and you're never going to find a man that is going to take you seriously because all of them are going to see your social media and run, as they should.
What do toxic women do to test men?
To be honest, I don't respect women who do this. And whoever is listening, if you're doing this, you really need to seek help because this is not normal behavior. Women who go out with their men and then do things to get the man jealous on purpose. It's like disrespectful to the man, to his lineage, to his masculinity. You're literally demasculating the man and you're cheap. That's all I can say for the woman. You're cheap. You can test him in so many ways. That's not a way to test a man. I hope every man fails that test because he's not meant to be with that woman.
Y'all, they tricked us. Yep, they tricked us. They had black women thinking that we need to keep up with men, that we gotta be bosses and be independent women. They tricked us. I just came from working every day, my own business. I opened and I closed there. I had no time for my family. I had no time for my husband. I had no time because I was tired. I had no time for my kids. I had other people getting them off the bus and not knowing what's going on with my older son. They tricked us, y'all. That's why black women are right now the #1 group getting diagnosed with autoimmune disorders, cancers. Many of these autoimmune disorders come from stress. When we try to live in our masculine. But they tricked us. They tricked us into living in our masculine when we should be living in our feminine.
And some of y'all still falling for it. You've been tricked, but now it's time to wake up out of that and right this.
The only thing men really need to learn is that you will never be able to make a woman happy. You just can't. If you last too long, then that's too much. But if you last too little, then that's too little. If you want too much intimacy, then you're being pushy. If you don't want intimacy at all, then you're cheating. You can remember to take out the trash, but she's going to remember that you didn't do the dishes. You can give her child support and you can give her over that and pay all of the in-between. And it's never enough, but when you pay nothing, then you're a deadbeat and she's still not happy. You could plan the perfect date, but if you didn't spend enough, then it's still not good enough. But if you don't plan a date, then you're a loser that puts in no effort. Women who don't have boobs want boobs. Women who don't have want ass. Women who have too much want a small ass. If you text too much, then you're basically a simp. But if you text too little, then you're a loser who doesn't care. You could buy her exactly what she wants, but if it's the wrong color, then it's still not exactly what she wants. You could give her all of the affirmation and all of the emotional support, but she's always going to remember the one time that you didn't. If you work too much, then you're not spending enough time with her. But then if you cut your hours and you're home with her more often, but you're making less money, then you're broke and you're basically a loser. If you watch too much football or have a hobby with the guys, then you're not invested in her. But if you don't have any hobbies or any other interests other than her, then you're a simp. Until you understand this as a man, that it's not your job or your responsibility to continuously make her happy and that you can't make her happy, your life will be a lot easier. Okay, bye.
I don't know, but I genuinely do not like men. Like, I genuinely don't. And this is not coming from a place of hurt or bitterness because honestly, nobody did to me. Nobody did anything to me, I promise you. But I literally couldn't imagine being in a relationship right now with a man. Like, I couldn't imagine it. I don't want you to touch me. I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to pour into you. I don't want to text you all day. I don't want to pretend like I care about what you ate. I genuinely don't want anything to do with pouring into a man at this point in my life. And
why?
It's not coming from a place of hurt. I'm not a lesbian. I don't like women. I just genuinely don't like men. I don't know if it's due to the fact that the species of men that are out there right now are just not hitting on it. But I just get so irritated when a man even speaks to me. Like, why the fuck are you talking to me? Why are you looking at me?
The only reason why she's saying that is because she see other women on the internet doing it. That's the only reason. If you're not a lesbian and guys haven't done anything to you, then why would you hate them? It just doesn't make any sense.
When women present to me on paper, right, he's everything. He's good looking, he treats me well, comes from a good family, he's kind, he's generous, he has a good job. What the is missing? Pick the guy. You guys are crazy. What do you want? You want him to abuse you?
Settle.
You want him to treat you like
never been in a
There's
toxic
something about
relationship.
women. You guys want a guy who's kind of got a rough edge to him. You guys want a guy who kind of treats you like a I think there's something there. When women can say, on paper, he's everything. Pick the guy then. What is missing? Tell me.
Compatibility.
Compatibility. Imagine if I sat here and said, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she treats me kindly, she's a virgin, whatever, all the things that men care about. She's all the great things, but I just didn't feel the vibe, I didn't feel the vibe. That's never gone through my mind. Trust me, the vibe will be there if everything on paper is there. You want the jerk, you want the bad boy, you want the guy with a bit of edge. That's dysfunction. Just saying.
I learned this from men, actually. Started asking men, do you want to be married? Almost all of them said yes. But they never left out the sentence afterwards, the qualifier. When I meet the right person, if I meet the right person. So I listened very carefully, right? So I started asking the question, what makes a woman the right person for you to marry? There are 12 things on the list that make a person the right person to marry. And none of them are love. Nobody said love. I love her. That was the given. That's the easy part. Loving women is not scarce to them, so they don't have to find a woman to love. They're looking for a woman with complementary strength. And they see a woman that's really, really, really strong, but they don't need to be duplicated. And they don't want to be duplicated. They want to be admired for the ways that they're strong that you aren't. And the only reason they want to be admired by you is because they admire you.
I would never date a broke man.
There really are a lot of arrogant individuals out there that truly believe that a lot of people really care who they would date.
That is so pathetic as a man to be broke. That is your one job, to provide and protect.
Well, actually, that would be 2 jobs, but I digress.
And you're gonna let me pay for anything around you? No.
There are some really entitled women out there. And believe it or not, they're not necessarily talking about someone that they're in a relationship with.
I would not even be friends with a guy who makes me pay for stuff.
Oh yeah, some women feel entitled to leech off of their male friends as well.
You're a man, bro. And you're gonna watch a girl buy a coffee in front of you? You don't have $7? Like, no.
Like, yes, he should. Because it's just my opinion, but unless, of course, a woman is married to a man, that man doesn't have any financial obligation to her whatsoever. And I really feel sorry for women who think like this, because they're the very same ones who wonder why they don't get more respect from men.
I think that's what a lot of these modern women are getting confused by. A man, first of all, so he don't really have an obligation to care what you like, to care what you want. Number one. Number two, he don't have an obligation to provide for you and give you his money. And you're not his daughter, nor his wife, not his fiance. You're not even his girlfriend. Y'all come into the world, y'all come into these relationships, not even a relationship. Y'all are coming into, first time seeing a person, thinking that man should spend the bag on you. Are we hearing ourselves right now? You want a man, the first time seeing you, to drop $200 on you? We haven't really even talked like that. Especially when some of these girls are like, well, I want to save it for the date. So we've been texting here and there. And I just kind of want to save it until then. So you're telling me we hadn't said but basically 2 words to each other? And now I'm supposed to happily drop $200, $250 on you? Stupid.